Evening, everybody. I definitely took longer to get in than I wanted. I also wanted to make sure that I had some dinner. So my original plan was to do Cyberpunk tonight, but the fact of the matter is it's quite late. Now I may... What? All right, looks like I've got an update for Epic to put in. But yeah, Outlast Trials is somewhat low stakes. So, if it doesn't, I don't know, like if it doesn't, if I don't do the full time, I'll still have some progress. And if I do the full time, I'll feel a little bad that I didn't do Cyberpunk. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like this is a time I would normally be finishing. And so I do want people to have a fair shot, particularly because I'm in parts of Cyberpunk I haven't seen before. Actually, that's not entirely true. There's a couple of bits I seem to remember, but yeah, it doesn't feel like a particularly bad choice to go back to this. I also feel like it's been a while since I've played Outlast on stream, so this isn't quite the relentless run of Trials, although I am sort of trying to wean myself off this on the mainstream and doing it more on Discord. I will say too, I know I've been getting quite cranky with the game for a little while. It's actually kind of funny because when I have been streaming this on the Discord, I've been trying to be a little reflective on that. I actually do not think it is a good trait. I actually find it a very unattractive trait when people get mad at games. And I'm sympathetic to it because to a certain extent, games exist to frustrate you, right? You have a goal and then the game will put a bunch of things in front of you to prevent you from getting that goal. But on the other hand, right, like this is going to seem very, how do I put it? Like, oh man, this is going to be a piece of cake. This is going to seem a little, this is going to seem like a really big and heavy topic for such a minor point, but like the law generally will distinguish between various forms of taking a human life. So like you've got, I'm going to like use the American terms because everybody's seen a cop show, right? So it's a natural way of thinking of this stuff. But like, you've got like first degree murder, which is just this like premeditated, what you are doing is wrong and you just show an absolute indifference to human life, right? So like a contract killer. And that is generally going to get like a very severe punishment. Second degree murder, so far as I can tell, and again, obviously not a lawyer, etc., etc., but like second degree murder, so far as I can tell, is, in the heat of the moment, you do take a life. But this is sort of a function of you being quite reckless. You didn't necessarily intend it at the time, right? So if you're in like a bar fight or something like that, and you hit someone and, this causes them to die in some way, right? Maybe they hit their head, maybe, this is one of the things that I'm always I think this is just like movies. I am actually really struck by, I think it's maybe just because we don't see a lot of violence day to day. Like seeing people get punched is actually quite jarring, right? It is a very violent thing. I realize it's, I realize it's such a like obvious thing to say. Seeing someone getting punched is quite violent, but like it is a thing, and like there are certain hits where like I am quite concerned, for the person's well-being. It's like in general, I just don't think you should be fighting at all. But yeah, it's like one of these things where this is very severe, but it's definitely different from thinking about the issue and like carrying through anyway. But then I believe this is manslaughter, although I've heard versions where apparently there's a third degree murder. And this one is this is still a bad thing. Like at any time you take a human life, that is a bad thing. I suppose, okay, so I'm not a pacifist, but like obviously I feel that there are circumstances under which society has decided, unfortunately war is a thing, and there's actually something fairly profound, I think, in terms of like going through recruitment, because they ask you, right, in the course of your duties, you may be called upon to take a human life. And like, I just have a philosophical bent, right? So I think, I was thinking about that, as like, wow, like this is actually someone say, like, that's probably like one of the most serious decisions you could make, right? To take your individual capacity to take a human life and not have that be your choice, but instead to instill it in, the government. That but it's like probably most people sitting there like, I need a job, I'll go do it. But in any case, for the purposes we're talking about here, we're talking about civilians. But yeah, this manslaughter, so far as I can tell, that one is, again, you've taken a human life, but it is effectively an acknowledgement that there are circumstances under which, the emotions are so intense that you have effectively lost your mind, and that it is a different circumstance from, the second or first degree murder. So we're thinking of something like, it's not just a bar fight. It is a bar fight that stems from, the discovery of infidelity or something like that. I think there's something really interesting about it, because it seems to be sort of this legal recognition that we are human beings and we are prone to some very, irrational behavior and potentially dangerous behavior. And so this is one of the reasons why, I particularly, like, I really internalize it. When I get grouchy at a game, people, weirdly enough, I don't feel as bad about, because usually I kind of know what I'm doing there. But, like, a game really is, you don't keep the money at the end. You don't, my life is not actually in danger in the game. And so getting too pissy at a game, I just think communicates that maybe you're not quite as in control. Like, I think we all sort of admire someone who can keep it together in tough circumstances. And the fact that something so minor as a video game is going to throw you off and cause you to sort of like lose your temper, I just think one of the reasons why I react as strongly to that, and again, this is for myself as well, I think one of the reasons I react so strongly to it is it's largely a recognition of that fact that, the failure in the small case seems to indicate maybe personality traits that are not so good when it really matters. And I guess maybe to put a pin in this very long, rant, I guess the way to twist it is if I do find myself getting too worked up over something like, something like the Outlast Trials or anything, right? That's maybe a moment for some reflection, to recognize when those impulses are coming up, and as a result be someone who is aware of, of that tendency emerging. Not to suggest, by the way, that I like fly off the handle at games, but it's just one of these things where like when I just feel like mad at the game over something, it's just that nice little moment to say, it's a game, like, who cares? I care. Anyways, so we have finished everything. So we've got the A+, again, everything here. We are just about to finish the docks. So I'm going to do a psychosurgery run on the docks. I'm going to throw a lot of things. I have some weeklies to do as well, so I might take a quick run in my excuse me, my cheesy created trial. But basically at these moments here where I'm between events, I've been taking the opportunity to try and mow the lawn a little bit with the psychosurgery. And There've definitely been a couple of times where I haven't gotten as far as I want. My deaths have gone quite a bit higher than I want them to, but...
Nobody can resist interrogation by torture, and any manner of death is a mercy. Microwave the informant, burst his head, and we will let you out.
But yeah, so the progress has been a little slower than I wanted, and there've been a couple of cases where, excuse me, the scores have been a bit lower than I wanted. So I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe the resort. I think I got an A on that instead of an A plus. And then suburbs, I really on liquidate the union. I think that's like a D plus. That was a really, really bad run. That was definitely one where I was having many moments of reflection as to my mental state. But let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can get an A plus first try on this one. This is not my strongest docs level, but let's see where we go. Now, one of the things that's a little interesting on this one is the fact that I have this... Oh, Algrins, thank you very much for your resub. I almost walked into an explosion there. I haven't seen a lot of The Big Bang Theory, but somebody showed me a clip that explained that if Indiana Jones was not present in Raiders of the Lost Ark, that the plot would have turned out exactly the same, which I do think is an amusing observation. I actually do need to reflect on that a little bit, because I do believe there's an instance where... okay, that's going to be a permanent feature of the level. And hopefully... Alright. Well, I don't exactly want to go up there. So if I'm not mistaken, I need to maybe double check this. Run for your lives! The Reaper is coming! But yeah, if I recall correctly, Jones solves a couple of the riddles or puzzles or whatever, and then Belloc comes to take it. So I think actually, if anything, the Nazis fail to find the Ark of the Covenant unless Indy actually leads straight to it. So, which is probably more of a condemnation than the Big Bang Theory. Anyways, it's a fun bit. Like I think Big Bang Theory is one of these things where, like, it will probably not surprise anybody to find out that I hear a lot of comparisons to the Jim Parsons character, Sheldon. I think there are worse comparisons. Actually, somebody asked me my IQ the other day, and the truth is I've never had it tested. If anything else, I think any demonstration of IQ on my part comes from the fact that at least my social circle thinks I'm somewhat clever, and so there's really only two possibilities if I get my IQ tested. Either one, I confirm what they already think, so there's no benefit to me, or they you know, or I find out that I'm not as clever as I think I am, which is a loss for me. And so, you know, I don't get it tested. I'll never get it tested. Why would I? But no, anyways, this friend was almost certainly, not even almost certainly overstating by a truly embarrassing amount, which was remarkably sweet of them. But I actually have to admit, I don't know it. I do not know.
Fantasized love itself. That would be rich.
But I do also kind of find it funny that I get asked. Honestly, I don't I don't particularly mind the Sheldon comparison. Like it's not really true. Like I'm not that smart. And I have nerdy tendencies, but not necessarily like okay, so this is like a general thing about comedy, I feel. Fake it until you unmake. Sorry, I didn't realize you'd said unmake it. That is a much more clever line than I gave credit for, Algrins. Oh. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, the overall thing I was going to say about Big Bang Theory is not about my intelligence. I've had a couple of times where there's a clear area that I need to like jump over, and it lands me straight on a mine. Those are definitely the times I've gotten pretty salty at the game. But yeah, one of the things I find kind of funny. So like I'm amused by it, but it is actually one of those shows where I really recognize the laugh track, and I've like kind of learned, I've been trained to react negatively to the laugh track. Too hot for Twitch. I think I'm gonna bang open the door to the Chemco lab. Alright, I was slightly hopeful that I'd be able to bamboozle an enemy. I don't think... well, maybe. I'm not going to have a lot of opportunities to you had your chance, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I need to do more distraction, but I also need to find 2 more posters, otherwise I'm not going to get the A+. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's fine. It's amusing in its own case. I feel it's like one of these things that maybe was a little overly praised at the time, and then sort of it's one of those ones where you sort of realize some of the tricks that they're using, and so as a result it becomes
soft.
It's no surprise they heard me there, but I do see that there's an evidence folder down below, so... Damn you! I do actually have a little bit of a hard time with shows like that. Because in one sense, I don't think everything needs to be, you know, Ingmar Bergman's, you know, The Big Bang Theory. But on the other hand, I do reflect on the fact that there's a lot of really good things that I haven't seen. And so, you know, watching any episode of Big Bang Theory that I see inevitably comes at the cost of time that I could be doing something else, up to and including reading. And so I sometimes feel a little self-conscious about that. Okay, I'm gonna try and make something with this bottle. I'm probably overdoing it with the microwave things, but microwave things is a technical term. I think there should be respawn pills, although I definitely don't want to respawn. Watched and passed and caught episodes here and there. There are emotional episodes that had some kick, dealing with social issues and relationships, but there's something hard. Yeah. I do think I sometimes have a little more competition than is entirely necessary between, you know, wanting to spend my time on quality and like not being an elitist. Because I think one of the things I do want to be conscious of is that all of this stuff. Oh, good lord. Oh, god damn. Yeah, it's like, it's like jokes, right? Like, did it make you smile? Did you laugh at it? It worked. It's, you know, it was a good joke. And, you know, did it not make you laugh? Well, it didn't work as a joke. I do have a feeling that this is, man, first recorded instance of sniper napalm, or Molotov. Oh, come on. That probably didn't count as a distraction. The worst case I've run into by far was one where it was a Molotov and it somehow stunned me by hitting me with the bottle. So I basically just stood still and had my entire health drop in one attack. I was pretty... I will confess, I was pretty annoyed by that one. It's mostly just because it's like, if something's going to be an insta-kill, like, just be honest about it. Like, make it an insta-kill. Don't be sort of like, oh, you stood in the fire too long. But, you know, it happened. There's no way I'm going to change it, so.
Behind my eyes, close in my spine.
Bite down on this for me. Once you isolate.
That didn't count as a distraction. Despite the fact he very obviously reacted to it.
You have to make your own lessons.
I see a bottle there.
Come's got 1,000 faces and just one heart.
Oh, for God's sake. Apparently I inherited the Molotov's aim.
Get back here!
So kind of want to get the playing field ready. I'm taking a little too long in this one, but we're generally doing okay. It's going to be a little bit of a chase for the snitch after the first one, but the ideal for me would be if I can find the by the way, Outlast Trials is a Canadian game, so this is Zed fighting. Fortunately, they went the other direction, but that could have gone rather bad. All right, that's not great. Oh, crap. I'm going to enjoy some tea. Actually, one of the other things I tried to do with the one of the other things I try to do for the game is to try and relate Outlast Trials to sort of like the three common like the three common divisions in terms of sort of objectives. So like there's your, I don't know if this really works, but like strategic objective is get the A+, right? But I don't know. Hey Algrids. You want to get good at Outlast Trials? Get the A+ in psychosurgery. Okay, thanks. You know, that's just what you wanted to hear, I'm sure. Now, he's probably going to chase me down. Oh, please tell me he's coming through. Nope, that's Franco. But yeah, so like, you know, obviously this is so clearly what I'm trying to do, right? Get the A+ in a psychosurgery level. But it's maybe not. It's not like actionable. So then you kind of go down one layer, the operational layer. It's like, what are some of the ways that I can achieve that A+? I am very concerned. I have no idea where the enemy is. You're mostly entertained as you have very little idea of what's going on in the game. You can suss out things like their objectives, but the tools you're using where you can hide actual items that you affect in the levels. It's kind of like organized chaos. I really should do a better job of explaining the mechanics then. Sorry, I think I'm overly familiar with the game, so I fall into the bad habit of not... let's not... Oh, God. Ah! Alright, you know what? Just run. This is my home now. Yeah, so like the operational level are a few things. So it's like, how do I get an A+? Well, I get an A+, one, by completing the main objective. And that's like getting to the end of the level. Effectively not failing is the way that I complete the main objective. There's no halfway point where you you fail to achieve the objective, but somehow don't fail. Only reason I'm up here, by the way, is to escape the X-pop up here. But then the other thing that's required is you need to do the secondary objective to get the A+, right? So that secondary objective in this case is collect 3 propaganda posters. And then this is going to sound like borderline insulting in terms of its simplicity, but don't die. Roughly the way this game works is that there's a scoring system. So it's like 10,000 points. I'm basing this off of the wiki, but... I think the big idea is... he's down a level from here? Okay, I think I know where that is. I might actually be able to spot it from up here. I always thought you could get on top of the... Yeah, there you go. That's not a good sound. Oh, you can go to... No, 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 no! But yeah, so scoring system, right? You've got... he's got to be down here. There. Nope, that's not him. Oh man, are they really going to make me go through the casino? I guess so. This might be Franco.
Leave it behind.
Nope. Well, Franco's in the area, but that was a...
Of course it's safe.
I don't have anything to defend myself, so... But yeah, so like, don't die sounds like such, like, obvious advice.
The indignity of it. How's a man supposed to perform?
Well, give him his space. Yeah, I think, like, dying knocks a couple thousand off of your score, so... You know, it's probably not so surprising that if you die, it's not impossible. Oh my god. I did not realize he was in the room. Oh my god, this is so bad. I gotta find a hiding place fast. I don't have stamina forever. Needless to say, I have complicated feelings about the accuracy of the shotgun at range. But yeah, so like avoiding death is like one of the most effective ways, short of completing the secondary objective, to ensure that you get your A+. Like, there'll be, like, taking damage, that definitely knocks my score down. I'm gonna have to make that up. But it does not hold a candle to the... If he turns around, I'm in trouble. He's coming back. There's like no hiding place here, but... not good. This is not where I want to be. I'm kind of suppressed here. So my choice is I can use one of these to open up the casino. Not quite ready to do that. Although I didn't appreciate that this actually... Okay, well. Yeah, so the idea here is that like you do have some things that you can kind of like you can dig yourself out of the hole a bit, but it's pretty darn costly to die in the game, and so you basically need to make like a dedicated effort to I cannot believe I got away with that.
What the hell? Don't make me leave. That glove in here.
Mildly encouraging, but let's be careful. Could try smashing through the window, but that's gonna have its own cost. But yeah, so anyways, basically, right, there's these intermediate steps, right? Complete the secondary objective, complete the main objective, don't die. That's gonna put me on track to getting the A+.
Get back here! I'm gonna fuck that engine wall!
You might even want to add to that like maximize score, so keep the rig on constant cooldown. God damn it. This will buy me a bit of time for the whatchamacallit, the objective. This is like the real thing that I wanted. Alright, there he is. And that's a Molotov, so... or pitcher. So I'm going to make myself scarce for a bit. But then there's the tactical choices, right? And that'll be everything from, do I go left or right? Do I jump over that mine? And like some of the, this is also where, you know, the, this is where, like, skill or performance matters. So there's absolutely times where I will intend to do something, but, you know, it's a wrong combination of keys, or I over or underestimate the distance for a certain thing. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Let me out! I also need to find one of them heals. Okay, gonna go upstairs. Obviously, I gotta be a bit careful with, But yeah, so one of the things that I realize I kind of go quiet for a little bit just because I want to make sure I'm not doing obviously boneheaded things. I'll do boneheaded things, just hopefully not obviously boneheaded. Alright, that's not the bandage I thought it was. So I don't exactly want to waste the bandage, but... Okay, so we're not... Maybe one thing that is worth keeping in mind here is I'm not really under an obligation to go up the way I did before. And I say that because I don't have any of the... I don't have any of the bars. So, could be in the chemical plant, could be... could be in the train depot, could be lots of places. Let's take a look. Ah, here we go. Yeah, we're getting close. Okay, so this brings me to a point where I want to head up here. Oh, we are definitely close. Okay, not this side. I'm pretty sure I hear them in the room. Okay, so I want to be a bit careful with this, but... Okay, before I go any further, I do want to throw that one last distraction. This will actually help me with Franco, so this isn't just wasted time. This will do in a pinch. Yeah, what I tend to notice is I'm a bit reflective in between missions, but I actually don't think that's a bad trait because it doesn't hurt to have a broad goal. And one of the reasons why I sort of embrace this way of thinking is that on paper, I would never actually voluntarily go through one of the there's like doors that you can open that wind up, how do I explain this? They like, when you go through them, they trigger, like they bring additional enemies in. So it's like, other than, you know, proving that you're John Gamerson player of games, there isn't a really great reason to do that thing. But just last night, I had a level where Henrietta was coming after me, the Jaeger, the big Terminator. I wish I knew where that enemy was. Oh, by the way, time doesn't factor into the score. Otherwise, I'd not have an A+ in anything. I feel like that should have counted against my brick total, but I'm not gonna complain about getting another one. I do, however, really want a bottle. Well, I can get it in another level. Well, that seemed to... I would have done it if it wasn't a pitcher, but they have the ability. Again, as I said, if they stun me when throwing their fire, they can actually one-shot me. But I do at least get something for the extra distraction. But yeah, I'll try and explain roughly all the stuff in the level. I may freak out a little bit, depending on the circumstances, but... Main idea here is you need to achieve a main objective. There's a secondary objective, like I said, the propaganda posters are the default secondary objective. Now, you have two different forms of health. There's your physical health. I am in deep trouble. That's not good. So I'm taking a not very calculated risk. Oh no, he's coming after me. So I need to rearm. I don't think I can accept. God, there's like nothing here. Sorry to spend so much time in the level, but I really, really blew it with the pitcher. I'm really bad at finding these, apparently, so I think this is for the casino. They just love sending the pictures. Actually, this might actually be for that side. Okay, I can live with that. So the two forms of health that you have, there's the physical health, which I've got right now, so this decides whether I live or die. You get 4 bars of that. On psychosurgery, generally, enemies will do 2 damage minimum. One exception is Franco. If he's close, the shotgun does a ridiculous amount of damage. If he's farther away, you can get by, but like you saw, he did like a bar and a half without that much trouble. So, all right, hate to do it, but I'm going back to the train yard. Those these like traps on the floor, those will do 2 bars for me. So basically, I can trip over 2 tripwires without. Or sorry, I have enough health to trip over 2 tripwires, but that is a guaranteed death if that happens. The other sort of form of health is your sanity. So you get 3 bars of sanity. On this difficulty level, basically any landmine that you step on is going to take out your... It's going to take out your sanity, and you will enter psychosis. If you enter psychosis, you... Okay, not great, but I can run. Okay, that's a little something to get me started. So I'm going to do the bandage because that takes more time to heal. So now I'm just looking for stuff to throw. So the sanity. So when you go into psychosis, there's an antagonist called the Skinner Man that comes after you. That will take out your damage. I'll actually say that psychosis is dangerous enough that on psychosurgery, I am more likely to die than survive it. Hey, Night 97, and it is D-Pain. I feel like I'm always playing Outlast Trials when you host, but this is actually me after a little bit of a streaming hiatus. And that is a very healthy host from both of you. Thank you very much. What are you playing tonight? Clearly Outlast Trials. Oh, and we have got the Cress formula version. Ecorb. First of their name. How are you tonight? Lovely to see all of you. I am not as talented as any one of the Triumvirate, but I'm very happy to have you here. I am doing psychosurgery, Cook the Informant. I have actually finished the mission a while ago, but I wasted all of my throwables on a very ill-advised... a very ill-advised effort to get past a pitcher. Anyways, for those of you, let me take a minute to just say, for those of you not following them, I feel like I've known It Is D-Pain on stream for a while now. Met, I believe, both Ecorb and Night 97 through him. All of them are streamers, and I will actually also mention, for those of you here for Outlast Trials, that Ecorb does Outlast Trials, and I believe does do Outlast Trials on stream, if I'm not mistaken. I should probably go upstairs. But yeah, anyways, I'm taking way too long on this, but I would like to come prepared, because it seems like throwables are a little hard to come by. And ideally, I'm going to come armed. I refuse to believe. Life's not fair. Oh, come on. Yeah, they really do not want me to have throwables. Alright, I think I'm just gonna have to scream "You only YOLO" once and then take my chances with Franco. That does not seem like a recipe for success, though. Oh, excellent. So we can all get better together. Actually, have you played all the levels now, Ecorb? I've finished all of my what am I saying? The yuck. I just want a bottle, man. Loaded the game to make sure it worked on Linux. You've not actually played. Oh, I didn't know it was on Linux. I always thought Unreal stuff didn't have Linux support. You see nothing. Okay, this is gonna get dicey. Oh, cool. Okay, I want to make sure she's well and truly cleared. Gotcha. So yeah, unless I find a lockpick, there's only one way. Although I actually don't need to get that clever about it. So that enemy you just heard coming into the area is known as the Pusher. He will send your sanity to 0, which again, as I said, in psychosurgery is effectively a death sentence for me. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. I've never actually tried to do one of these exits this constrained with with item. Oh, here we go. I'll take a second bottle over. So as far as I can tell, there's only one exit here. That's kind of the bottleneck when Franco's walking around, because of course with the shotgun he gets an extended range, but at the front area, yeah, here we go. Okay, so what I do here, I actually have two options depending on where he's walking. So there's no rush. This is the important thing. I don't know where Franco is right now, but he is most likely, yeah. So as long as he doesn't see me, I can try and sneak up to the exit. So he's most likely going to go up those stairs. If he starts coming towards me, that's going to be a little awkward, but I can try and maneuver around this pillar. Okay, so I don't want to be dumb. Okay. Unfortunately, it's forced my hand, so I'm going to need to figure out what to do for 10 seconds. Hide. Hide is what I will do for 10 seconds. Alright, so that's going to be like, what, 45 minutes? No, 55. This is supposed to take like 15, but we got the A+, so. So maybe for the benefit of Ulgrins, I'll try and explain the mechanics a little bit better for the next mission here.
You learn beautifully. You may be my ideal student, my inspiration, a gift to science. I think you are a perfect masochist.
Okay. So, I'm gonna just run to my room. 9 relapses. God, what a nerd. Does he do anything but play this game? No. Alright. So I have a couple things to do for the weekly tasks. One of them would be disarm or rewire 15 traps to the jammer rig, and then complete 3 trials in a single escalation therapy. I don't have that much longer to do it, but I mean, we've got time, right? So, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, E-Corp. We were so close. Like, I think the only thing we needed to do was get your documents in. But obviously so apparently the way that you avoid that bug is to have like a party of 4, which is of course ridiculous, but there you have it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the jammer. The other thing I'm going to do, one of the things I like to do when I'm at this point with the playthrough. Oh wait, sorry, rebirth is different from relapse. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I've got definitely more than 9 rebirths. Relapses are when you're at level 99 and you go back down. So one of the things I like to do when I have all my prescriptions and, you know, I and my amps and stuff like that, what I like to do is make sure that I keep 14 in the tank. So like, let's say I need, for whatever reason, I need to be up to prepared barricade. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, right? But anything above the 14, you know, anything... So what this is doing is that if I get a weird requirement...
Maybe that'll give you a fighting chance.
you know, like put down a bunch of barriers or barricades or something like that. That gives me the option of just maxing the thing out so that I can get the task. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, sorry. I wasn't. I actually that was more so for myself, just in terms of I misinterpreted what you'd said. That wasn't a correction of you. Sorry if that seemed that way. But yeah, in any case, I like to keep like 14 in the bank until I've like leveled up all of the different rigs. But again, for weekly tasks, I figure maybe we can disarm or rewire the 15 traps, and then maybe I'll do the escalation therapy, and depending on how much time I have left, maybe we'll take a shot at... oh, actually, you know what? We'll almost certainly be able to do some downtown stuff. So again, just a reminder, I've been mowing the grass, so I've got A pluses in everything from police station to despoil the auction. At the introductory level, same for standard, same for intensive, and for psychosurgery, we've got the global A+ for police station, orphanage, fun park, courthouse, toy factory, including the new one, and the docks. The things you've purchased with the vouchers, you keep your cosmetics though. So the idea is that all of the prescriptions, the rigs, all of that goes away. But in exchange, I mean, on top of like the tasks and so on and so forth, you get like 1 token for a permanent loadout option. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So anyways, we just finished Cook the Informant, so I've already done A+, Pleasure the Prosecutor, so we're going to do Kidnap the Mistress, Spread the Disease, which I think is going to be the one I struggle with the most, and then Traffic the Product. So I'll explain why Relapse is worth it for you, Ecorb. So if you look at my loadout, right, I've got Slippers, and that says Permanent, Hide and Breathe Permanent, and Incognito. Now, I'm high enough level that I've unlocked these, but even at level 1, I'm going to be able to equip these no matter what. These are permanently part of my character, unless it's escalation therapy, where obviously it's kind of treated like a base level 1. Likewise, even at level 1, without any green tickets, my character has instant use, slide, regeneration, self-defense technique, hard kick, and run and smash doors. And then for my 10th relapse, I'll get Stay of Execution. So the idea here is that even though you lose all your stuff, you start getting permanent loadout. So like if you know you love the jammer, you can make it so that you will have a jammer even with no green tickets. Unfortunately, they don't let you go for the tier 3 permanent stuff. You have to move your way up through tier 1. But yeah, that's basically relapse. Once you get to level 99, you go back to the base level, but you get sort of this very slow floor, there's slowly rising floor of capability by doing the relapses. Plus you get bragging rights. You get like a fancy plaque for your room. Anyways, I'm going to do Destroy the Prisoners. This is kind of like my go-to. Does anybody have a variator they want to see? Like I don't exactly want to go out of my way to make this overwhelmingly difficult, but if somebody's curious about some of the different variators in the game, I don't necessarily mind doing this one. I guess technically, if I'm looking to, I think it was disarm or rewire 13 traps. Well, I guess I've kind of already got that. They've got like more and deadly traps too. But yeah, like nausea traps. I mean, sharp glass is the one thing that I can't disable, but all right. I'm going to assume that nobody has any preferences for variators, but if you do have one, let me know and I'll do it. So what I do here, I'm pretty comfortable with the I mean, I call this Destroy the Prisoners, but I think it's like Cancel the Autopsy or whatever. So this is one I can do reasonably quick, but I've tried to put as many of the variators that are consistent with psychosurgery, with the exception of there's no limited inventory, and there's no limited inventory and what is it? Cooldown, like longer cooldown on the rig. So I'll let the briefing do its thing for a bit.
You cannot allow evidence to determine the course of justice. Corpus delicti. Find the bodies and grind them to slurry, and we will let you out.
I don't know why I was quiet during that. I don't think it's necessary for you to have the full audio detail. But yeah, so like this is basically one of the ones where it's like I've got something in my tasks where I don't want to potentially throw the I don't want to throw the or potentially throw the objective. Hey. We have someone familiar. But what I do want to make sure is I don't get soft on the difficulty.
All reagents must be present to proceed.
So this is sort of my halfway point. So I have a reason why I got the lockpicks. Okay, Moonfire Crown. If you would like to do co-op at some point, eCorp, I am happy to try and show what cooperation looks like. And it does not need to be a rebirth because I don't have the tokens for it. But you are also obviously welcome to your own individual enjoyment of the therapy. Okay, not what I wanted to do, but there you go. Oh, hell. So yeah, those landmine, D-Pain, those landmines are, they'll knock out my sanity. So those actually wind up being rather deadly given my particular skills or lack of skills. Although, of course, because you'll be a proud owner of the Outlast Trials, you'll get a chance to experience this yourself, right? All right. to remember to get that that poster back there. So this is actually quite a bit longer than I normally take in this scenario, but it's not terrible because I'm getting more of these. Actually, I guess I shouldn't be disabling these, I should be repurposing them. I keep thinking of traps as the things on the ground, but that's not actually true. I was originally going to go for the... Oh, come on. Okay, that's another picture, so let's get out of here. That's no good for me. I mean, I can try and kick the door in. Certainly got their attention. That was my bad. Use now. Nyah, nyah, nyah. Isn't that... Damn it. I thought that was supposed to trigger. Had to pass on the sale due to be extremely over budget this month from buying plane tickets to China. You're not defecting, are you? Is this your first... I have never been to China, but I have to ask, is this your first time? Or are you, I guess it's xenophile? Oh, come on! Alright, let's find a trap to... She sure gets around. First time going, you'll be meeting family while over there. Cool. I don't know the region all that well, but is there like a particular area you're going to be visiting, or? So one of the original reasons why I was carrying more, oh, sorry, future... So, I actually think that's big news that I haven't congratulated you for yet, D-Pain. I did not realize that there was a future family. So belated congratulations. Sorry for not picking up on that at the at the reveal, but I okay, cool. Have some fun with this. So I mean, I guess the catch here is that I'm nowhere even remotely close to the rewiring. I think I'll take some time. I actually don't think I saw a single recharge. I actually think it's a fair argument to say, unless I find some... Okay, well that's one that'll do it for me. Very nice. So yeah, what I'll do here, I'll naturally build up the jammer again, and I'm gonna try and find another place to use the How does this game fit with Outlast 1 and 2? So I actually think this is a pretty good job of realizing the experience of the first two Outlast games. Like it's a surprisingly good adaptation of the Outlast games to a... I did not know he could follow me through there. That is new information. So I'd say it's actually a surprisingly faithful adaptation of the Outlast formula to a multiplayer game. And it does in fact continue the story. So this is basically a prequel to the other Outlast games. So Outlast would be I'll say it's a contemporary story. Obviously it's not a modern story because it's like a decade or 2 decades old. I think it's like a decade. Outlast 2 is so the full continuity is Outlast Whistleblower, which was the DLC for Outlast. Outlast 2, in between Outlast Whistleblower and I should have gotten one more replaced. That's fine, I'll make this work. Actually, you know what? But yeah, so in terms of story, there's continuity. This one definitely you have more means of defending yourself than the earlier Outlast games. But as you can see, like you don't buy yourself a whole lot of time with those glass bottles. Hey, Ucorb, want to try a psychosurgery run? Sure. I mean, yeah, let's give this a shot. If you have a friend you'd like to bring along, just let me know.
Perfect. You're the engine of the future. I fill you with pain and humiliation, and you burn with obedience and prosperity. Every day is tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. I will make this quick then.
You are in control.
Yeah, so the second there's a comic in between Whistleblower and Outlast 2. But yeah, I mean I liked number 2. I think I probably prefer number 1 a little bit more, but by the way, Ecorb, I'll just give you a caution. So what's enabled here is psychosurgery, mandatory secondary objective, limited hide spots, more and deadly traps, no radio, so the only way we can hear each other is if we're in voice range, but there's also voice disturbance, which means that the enemies will be able to hear us if we talk. And finally, unreliable doors. I saw... Oh, hang on. I'm trying to push V, but it doesn't seem to... Do I have this control wrong?
Is who you are.
Am I actually coming through in audio?
Yes.
Ah, cool. All right.
You cannot allow evidence to determine the course of justice. Corpus delicti. Find the bodies and grind them to slurry, and we will let you out.
So we'll probably see more of the effects of the no radio in the environment, but I do apologize to chat for the sounds that you're about to hear, because you're going to get it full blast through the microphone. Okay, just to demonstrate what we're working with, I'm gonna show you what no radio looks like.
Okay. Lovely demonstration.
Doesn't quite translate on stream, but
I mean, I can do it in return if you'd like.
oh, please do.
Okay.
Just like playing Serious Sam. Okay, T-Pain says 2 minutes later, why are all the enemies here? So if you want to stick together, that's fine. I'm going to steal one of these resurrections. But yeah, I'm not married to sticking together or walking around, but if there's trouble, just let me know.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear me? Hey there! Of course, the funny thing here is that I have no idea where E Corby is now because we also don't have any signals in terms of where people are. But that just makes it fun, right? I guess I shouldn't talk near the big scary guy who can hear us, right?
Something like that.
I just forgot to check if there's any Ooh! Sorry, I'm just...
That wasn't what I expected. There's enemies over.
Ah. Hey, lady, I think you're dumb. Turns out they're not as sensitive as I thought. I don't know if you got to see that, but oops! And apparently that gave me a little.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah, I got him already. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting about
Hey.
the joint. But yeah, I don't know if you. I don't know if you've seen it, but like when you use the jammer on the mines and an enemy like steps on a mine, it's very funny just watch him eat shit.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
All right, I'll see if I can. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, objective complete. And I need to find an antidote.
There's one in there.
Bless you.
Oh, what? Oh my god, I was
Sorry.
not standing on that.
I should have warned you.
Damn it, I'm crazy now.
Oh, like in proper. If you're in like psychosis, you definitely do not want the Skinner Man getting you.
I could help.
If you can try and get back here, there's an antidote.
I'm no longer crazy. That was rough.
Yeah, like I said on the stream, the Skinner Man on psychosurgery is more likely to kill me than not. We still need to find 2 posters.
Broken glass.
Whee! Over here!
X-Bob. Shit, careful. Hey, see that?
All right. So what's going to happen here? Oh, excellent. I'm going to put the last key in, and Coil's going to show up. So what might be a good idea, you can, if you want, you can hide in the locker. And then once you hear the countdown going, I can sort of make sure that you get on the train before I go and do that myself. Or if you want, we can try and do it together.
I'm fine with trying to get it.
Okay, cool. I blew it.
Please exit entrance.
So the trick here is as long as I don't take damage, I'm fine. But if I do take damage, then I lose. Okay. Oh, there you are. Congratulations, you beat your first psychosurgery. And on part-time.
Thank you. Wait.
I'm still bad at anticipating Coil's distance, so I thought I would be able to make him throw up, but he got me instead, so I basically just vamoosed for a little bit and figured I'd catch the train at the last minute.
Yeah, the jammer, like, I have a hard time gauging how long I have before it actually makes them get sick.
I don't know how it is in the multiplayer mode, but I believe they also move faster in psychosurgery, so that's good for throwing off your timing.
Yeah.
Your God's eye.
Wonderful. Perfect. Beautiful. You are the hope for a better tomorrow.
Hopefully the dog is not too upset at being made to wait.
She did come in like right as we were starting that trial, and I was like, "Oh no!" So thank you for letting me join you. That was fun. You did all the work, but I survived, so there's that.
I was going to say, it is surprisingly difficult because where I normally rely on the pills to just respawn, you actually need, like, if I died, it would be up to you to revive me. So it is actually a very difficult mode. The fact that you got through that shouldn't just be like, oh, I did all the work. You got an A plus as much as I did, so you did good.
Well, thank you. I hope you have a good rest of your night. I'll be lurking in chat.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So for the rest of you, that's kind of what co-op looks like. So I want to try and get the last of the weekly tasks. I've already got the complete 8 weekly tasks, but where I can, I want to try and do it. Now, the way I understand this working is that if you're already on escalation therapy and you do one successful trial, it'll count for the extra ones. So I am currently on 21 of this attempt. It's been kind of rough, but like not unmanageable. So I'm gonna do that just because it's the last task that I need to do. I'm not gonna like do the full run of it. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do basically what it takes to get my points. Now, this is actually the first I've done it on stream, which makes me a little worried. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, yeah.
Good luck.
So basically what'll happen is I'll slowly move up the stun while maintaining a 14. And then, like, once I get enough to... Essentially, I'll do the same. I'll probably do it with the blind mine. And then when I have, like, blind 8 and 14 ticket... Or, well, actually, once I've maxed out blind, then I'll just slowly build up barricade. But yeah, I've never done escalation therapy on stream, and I always know that whenever you're streaming, you know, it makes for interesting times. So I may throw away a perfectly good run here, but so just to be clear, escalation mode, 1 to 4 players, endless. Begin with nothing, build your loadout, and endure randomized trials with escalating difficulty and rewards. Completing the secondary objective grants a bonus upgrade selection. Advance as far as possible, but if all reagents die, the session ends. And this is going to be where you get to see the difficulty that's higher than psychosurgery.
Please respect all sleep room personnel.
Now, if I recall correctly, the last time I played this, it changed my loadout to something that I didn't want, so I want to make sure that that's locked in. It may work differently than what I thought, but... Alright. So... Stamina booster's not... Ooh.
History is mutable. Only the future is fixed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the stamina
Past
boost.
to be defined by facts, evidence, and
I actually didn't even see what trial I was in, so we are... Eliminate the past, okay. Oh, hang on. Eliminate the past is different from... That's fine, we'll make it work. So you'll notice that you don't actually see the variators for the mission yet. That will come in a moment. Oh, crap. No running. Full, what? Oh, Christ almighty, I am dead. Oh. Holy hell, yeah, I am in for a tough time on this one. So the fact I can't run on this one is going to make this extremely difficult. Have a good night, it is D-Pain. Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about the gas.
Too much.
Temperature.
Oh, no.
6 minutes.
Oh, that's great, E-Corp. I'm like, this is like the end of my run here. I do not see any possible way.
Sometimes the finger of God reaches down and touches you. But you never know which finger it is you want here.
So if the bomb goes off, it doesn't matter how many resurrections I have. And sorry, D-Pain, I don't even... I thought I said good night to you. If I didn't, I apologize. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be character building. I guess the good news is when I... When I get past a certain point... Yeah, like... I'm probably going to be on hard mode no matter what, but like once I get to a certain point, it won't really matter on the countdown.
Warning. Temperature.
And adrenaline wouldn't go amiss for the ending, I think. Yeah, limited rigs. They've like put all of my... This is like the worst possible combo.
It's a cancer. You gotta cut it out while it's still small.
Okay. Getting some progress. I know it's a bit wasteful, but I'm just not gonna make it back. Okay, this is gonna be a lifesaver for me, so we're gonna put that in position 5. Not great.
Warning. Temperature.
Good lord. Yeah, I'm gonna die if I don't... God damn. Okay, let's do the secondary. I hope I get to do this after it closes, because... Okay, unfortunately, that kills it for me on achieving the objective. So this is going to be a very, very hard escape.
Difficulty 7.
So I have 3 minutes to escape. Oh, bullshit! No fucking way! It hurts me because I've got bleed in a scenario where if you run, you take damage. So I have to walk to the exit. I will run to the shuttle if that's what it takes.
Not me.
Shuttle leaving in 30 seconds.
Woo! I gave up everything to make that work. God damn, I hope I never get that combination again. So again, just to be clear, Ultra 2, 2 objectives, bleeding, limited rig, no running, bomb countdown, freezing, and I started with 1 health. Nope, save and quit. I'm not doing another one of those. That is easily the hardest trial I've needed to do in that mode. I genuinely thought that was the end of the escalation run. But I guess I also know now that the so actually this might be a little easier to explain. So just to clarify the variators that I was dealing with. So there's no ultra but like basically, so psychosurgery, maximum trauma, maximum population of brutal enemies, no player names, extreme psychosis. So basically just imagine that, but harder. So there was bomb countdown. Reagents are equipped with a bomb counting down. Find time extenders or the entire team will explode and the trial is failed. And again, remember, that was the like, it doesn't matter how many respawns I have. If you fail, you're done. It's the roguelike mode. So then they had, not mandatory, but dual objectives. So 2 chosen at random. There was bleeding. So taking damage will cause bleeding. Use bandages to patch it up. But on top of that, there was no running. Running is prohibited and will result in shock damage. However, adrenaline sources will temporarily suppress this effect. So what I thought was if I used my stun, that I would get that boost, which would allow me to run. And it turns out that was wrong. So I took a bunch of bleeding damage for getting that wrong. What else was there? There was limited rig. So rigs do not recharge with time. Use rig rechargers. So I had exactly one. Recharge, or so I had exactly 1 rig use unless I found the other one. Health sickness. Health is restricted. Find special pills to recover it. So I started with 1 bar of health. Effectively, anything would kill me. Am I forgetting any of the other one? Oh, right. Sorry. Freezing. The mission, of course, is one where you have a limited amount of time to destroy to destroy the evidence. And if you don't destroy enough, then you get like a really difficult path to the exit. But on top of that, Cold Snap, the trial environment is sporadically filled with piercing cold air. Hide to survive. And if you're out in the cold, you take damage. So even while I had that 3-minute counter going down, I would still, like, when I had my adrenaline, when I was able to run, then the cold snap happened. So I was running, trying to find a place to hide. And that's one of the reasons why I was willing to step on the glass when the giant was there, because if the giant was standing around waiting, then I'm potentially going to be in a situation where I run out of time. And again, if the shuttle goes away, I still fail the trial and the escalation run is over. So this is dual objectives doesn't really count, but for the rest of this stuff, this is definitely one of the more difficult combinations that you can get on a randomly generated trial. But we got through it, so. All right. I did already do Pleasure the Prosecutor, so we'll move on to Kidnap the Mistress. Prostitutes receive more honest confessions than priests. Identify the pervert by his tastes, kidnap his dominatrix, deliver her for interrogation, and we will let you out. And just to be clear on psychosurgery, it's increased threat 2, maximum population of brutal enemies, unreliable doors, extra barricaded, trapped, and blocked doors in the trial, more and deadly traps, maximum amount of deadly traps. Limited items 2, amount of time items found in the trial is very limited. Limited hide spots 2, very limited amount of hide spots in the trial. And then psychosurgery is a nice little cocktail of maximum trauma, rig cooldown extended, less inventory space, no player names, and no intel. This is a fun one, actually. There's like some dialogue in it that's very amusing. I'm going to see if I can stop by Noakes. You know what? Doesn't matter.
The therapy is ready. Please enter the shuttle.
I do have the right loadout, right? Yeah, so there's no tasks to do. This is just sort of mowing the lawn with the psychosurgery.
Prostitutes receive more honest confessions than priests. Identify the pervert by his tastes, kidnap his dominatrix, deliver her for interrogation, and we will let you out.
I would definitely recommend relapse. So one of the things I would actually recommend is do relapse, and then when you do a relapse, go into an escalation run, because the escalation run is going to start you off at level 1 anyway. And so what you do is you get all that like extra XP and all of the benefits for doing something at level 1, but what you're also doing is like building your way up to the escalating challenges. But yeah, I would definitely say relapse is worth it. Like it's the first time around you feel like you're building something, but it is actually fun to sort of do the loops of like being stripped of your items and building up again. And part of that is just because, well, one, like you get the experience of getting familiar again. It doesn't hurt to learn the basics, but it's, in my opinion, it's actually a really good excuse to do the to do escalation. Oh yeah. No, it's not like a complete reset. It's like, it's basically any of the buffs that you get, you need to earn them again. But in order, like, in exchange for that, you get a permanent buff no matter what.
That's what I'm looking for. Give me the cocaine. That's why you can't get out of your fucking work. All that white shit going up your fucking nose. I want to talk.
The dialogue on this one I find very amusing. Yeah, I actually didn't do escalation for a really long time, but then when I tried it, I actually really liked it. So, obviously, as you saw, they get really intense. And I mean, 20 levels isn't that far. I think like the top task for that is like level 75.
3 crows.
All right, so basic idea here is we'll identify the dominatrix. By the way, this is a fun one to do when the level's reversed. So you'll find the letter, the number, and the room. So letter and number shows which weapon the dominatrix is holding. And then the room will tell you like which part of the level to find the the character in. Okay, well, that's helpful. Uh-oh. It's one of the drawbacks about the X-ray is it's hard to see somebody at a distance. Right. So if we knew that I needed the drill, and it was in the pub, that would be the mannequin I get. But there's others as well. I also think for escalation, the tricky call for me is, do you want to do that with a group of people or not? Because again, for me, it's not that hard for me to... Like, it sucks to die, but it's like, okay, that's fine. You know, I did my thing. I failed, but I just respawn. But on the other hand, if you feel like your teammates are letting you down, right? Like, you need to be respawned by a teammate who doesn't...
Italians and spiders. You gotta be careful of the little disses beneath me.
Like, if you have a teammate that doesn't... You feel like they're not pulling their weight, which, of course, is definitely not the case for your... I totally get that you're playing this with people you know, and, like, you're just having fun. But, like, obviously, if you feel like you're really deep into a run and somebody didn't do the work, you know, that's going to feel kind of bad because you have all that effort. But the thing is, like, it's like any roguelike mode, right? You just reset. Like, I think the thing that's liberating to me about the escalation mode.
Sweet cocaine. You should keep your hand out of the cookie car. And sauce.
Yeah, to me, the liberating thing about it is that like any given roguelike, like your least favorite enemy in the game.
Not to king shame, but these girls will kill you. Oh, that really turns me on. I can't get it up no more. You're telling me this why? I need you to hook me up with one of your girls. Oh God, that's the good shit. Let me hit that. Cocaine. I need somebody to hurt me real bad. Discipline the little bastard. Make him stand at attention. Eddie's soldier. These girls start hurting you. They don't stop.
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm looking for. Give me the cocaine.
Anyway, yeah, like I said, I should probably just like sit down and get a recording of that line so I don't potentially kill myself in the game. But
Give me that sweet, sweet cocaine.
oh yeah, if you want, you can actually hear the prompt. But it'll tell you in the police station too. So there's definitely one more.
Sweet cookie.
You should keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
And in the cookie jar, I'm trying to get my brachial sauce.
There's definitely another radio down here. I just don't know. I haven't found the wire yet. Okay. Oh, not good. Oh, bullshit! God, that's annoying. I'm dead. Yeah, see, I don't know. I think you all saw exactly what happened there, right? Like, clearly he staggered back. He clearly staggered back, and then I got the full... Like, I got the full stamina loss. It's like, I'm not going to get an A+ on this now. There's no way I'm going to do enough X-rays. This is, like... This is the thing that now that I've played this a bit, this is actually the one thing that dampens my enthusiasm a little bit, is that in some cases it really does feel like there's selective kind of selective application of the rules.
Chemical restraints free you from these fractions of your body. Let your mind out of the cage.
And like, it's a game, right? So like, it's, you know, any computer program, it's going to do its it's going to do its thing, but I really don't know how you prepare for an enemy that you've always seen. Okay, if they get in reaching range for you, you're gonna get gassed. So it's like, okay, I don't want that to happen. So, you know, get as much time as I can. Throw the thing. I've got a plan. I was like, oh, okay, that resource you wasted, well, that was for nothing. You're still gassed now, and yeah. So. Like I said, like I kind of said at the beginning, like, games almost by design are sort of intended to make you frustrated in a certain way because, you know, it puts something in the way of you achieving an objective. But on the other hand, like, not every frustration is equal, right? Like, obviously, I let myself down. You know, I really thought I had that one. Is quite a different experience from, all right, that seemed to come out of nowhere and is inconsistent with the expectations that had been brought before. It's actually one of the reasons why I don't like the tooltip that says if you stay still in the dark, you won't be discovered. That is demonstrably false. But it creates an expectation that when it's, you know, when it's upset, then you feel like the game is kind of out to get you. All right. Henrietta is not my idea of a good time. Like if I can find the upstairs thing that I need. So I don't want to get too clever with this.
Pennies, soldier. These girls start hurting you. They don't stop.
Ah! I'm happy to wait. It's a little boring to just stick around like that, so. I mean, again, the longer I stay in the level, the more opportunities I have to perform actions that get me points, but I don't want to be completely corny with my approach. I am, however, going to run away from Franco, so... God, this reminds me of my weekend. Unfortunately, if I jump through this, that's probably going to trigger Franco, so... Just hang out for a bit. One thing that's nice is I do have a full complement of throwables. And again, why am I doing all this? Well, because disarming traps gives me a couple points. Oh, interesting. Where, what level do you get Franco? And I can't remember what the,
These girls start hurting you. They don't stop.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. Give me the cocaine.
That's why you can't get over on you fucking
Pretty sure the radio is going to be up here. Damn. Whoa! It's a very different spot from where I thought it was. Yeah, that's right. It's not a definitely not a quiz. Franco's introduction is in my opinion, pretty memorable. So this is interesting. I've always wondered if it forces you to if it forces you to make noise. Like, as far as I can tell, there's no way for me to open this without making a racket.
Son of a bitch! I've got a condition! Walk around here. I'm thirsty. Bad baby! Say something! Jesus!
Sweet, sweet cocaine. So unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to the a bit of a tricky spot here, but lots of practice.
I can't believe what you're gonna make, baby. It's probably something I can milk around here.
The one that actually, I used to have a lot of trouble with the radios in the reversed levels, but I don't know, gotten a little bit better at that. Okay, so yeah, normally I would know what to do. So electric room, so that's in the sewers. B2 is the scythe lady. So first thing I gotta do is get underground. I don't think this is the right area. I need to get a little more comfortable with the layout of the sewers. I feel this is closer to the electrical room, but... Again, wasting time isn't the worst thing that can happen here, because the more... speakeasy... I'm pretty sure the electrical room's nearby. Oh, you know what? It might be near the the subway.
I'm a fucking
I don't recall if there's a way through this. I don't think there is. The funny thing is, actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, the electric room might be near where... might be near where I got hit by the psychosis. But the question is, how do I get there? Well, we'll figure it out. There we go. Okay, that's a picture, so... But I do see the scythe lady. Okay, gotta make myself scarce for a little bit. If I had a lockpick, that would have worked, but... Depending on the, and also depending on the level that you're on, Ecorb, I can definitely say that 15 minutes is an optimistic estimate. Particularly if you're trying to get the A+, right? Like, this is one of the things that makes me feel kind of bad, is a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is kind of irrelevant now because I think it's very unlikely that I'm going to get the letter grade that I want. And I don't want to be too defeatist about it because, you know, like, you're not going to get better if you think that way. But, you know, it is worth saying, like, this is one of the reasons why, you know, I do say that I don't think it's a good trait to get too upset at a game. But it does, you know, it promotes some reflection, let's say. Because in the end, like, what was the thing I died to? Well, the thing I died to was something that by most... I think most reasonable estimates people would say was not like a legit hit. But again, I'm just gonna spend the same time to make this fucking hell.
You fucking mutt!
I'm gonna try and find a bandage if I can. But yeah, so like, you know, being too fatalistic about it just doesn't make you better. But on the other hand, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, this thing that I don't really think is consistent with how I understand the game works has now cost me, you know, whatever time it takes me to set it right. All right. I guess the question here is, how badly do I want to find the health? A second death is guaranteed to knock me off the A+, so I am willing to put some effort into finding it. Can't be that hard to find some health. We're kind of back to where we were before, where I waste a bunch of time to try and have the perfect exit.
I can. I just can.
There's something in the end there. Well, it's better than nothing. It doesn't cover me the full way. Ah, okay. So I guess the question now is, I'll take the bird in the hand, but if I can find a lockpick, then I'm good. Of course, lockpick I suspect is going to be easier said than done. And at this point, so one thing I have learned is that if you use bricks, it will actually knock the lighter enemies back. So if you have like a normal human-sized X-Pop and you throw a brick at them, they will go flying back. Whereas, I mean, a giant's gonna... Oh, excellent. Okay, so now I gotta get back to the... I gotta get back to the hub. But yeah, so if you chuck a brick at the X-Pop, it will knock them back, like, and you'll see them fall on their back. Whereas if you hit a an X-Pop with a bottle, it will stun them, but it won't knock them back. And I will definitely say being able to get some extra space in certain circumstances can definitely be the difference between a win or a loss. No! Fuck! That was my stupidity. I panicked. So one half of this is okay, right? I just do my usual thing. But now I really am committed to going back and getting that. Ooh, damn. Again, not crazy about the extra time this takes, but I'm committed. I don't think I can afford to get brave right now. Okay, picture's off. So this sort of maximizes the opportunities. It is going to be a little harder for me to get a throwable again, but right now the priority is find a lockpick. This is probably a bit of a waste because if I don't find a lockpick in here, then oh no, we're good. Okay, so I actually have a couple ideas. that'll get me the replacement bottle. Obviously, this is why the countdown timer exists. Or the countdown, but whatever, you know what I mean. Okay. So I believe if I go upstairs, never quite appreciated that the level works this way, but this should eventually get me to the snack bar, which gets me to the hotel, which gets me across the street, or Irish pub, and then across the street gets me to the police station where we've already put the mistress. And we're gonna need to give Franco the slip. But I think I can make that happen. And every point counts now, so ooh. Oh crap.
So I like nice things. A man can't help having
I've got a
appetites.
very careful eye on that shadow. So I didn't want to kick the door because that would draw his attention. Good lord. So this is really just a hide and seek question, but with that picture hanging out, I want to make sure that I'm not tempting fate. My two favorite people in one spot. God damn it. God, I'm bad at this. Alright, fuck it. That was a disaster as far as the throwables went. Yeah. So, thank you to Inconsistent Rules on the fucking pusher for giving me another half hour of such fun. Yeah, it's like the way I've usually figured it out is that I can probably afford one death in a proper trial because it's like 45 minutes. You have lots of opportunities to hit the X-ray over and over again.
You're doing the work. You're letting the fear feed you. I knew you deserved my love. Maybe now you know
In some rare circumstances, you might be able to get an A plus in a MK challenge, but in general, I tend to find a death in an MK challenge means you don't get an A plus, which, like, from a scoring point of view, makes complete sense. And then, like, obviously, the conditions under which those deaths happen, you know, I completely understand any players going to sort of figure that, you know, clean living and good attitude entitles them to, you know, to victory. But just in general, I find the most frustrating ones are the ones where it's sort of like, game doesn't normally work like that. So, but that's fine. Like, sulking about it is not going to change the situation. So, I'm actually not that far away from completing Project Diarchy. I just need 82 more tickets. So, I think it's like 50. Yeah, I would actually say once tomorrow's dailies start up, I think there's like 50 that you get by doing the dailies, and then, you know, I'll get the natural amounts, excuse me, from doing the regular challenges. I finished the Advent of Bogomolova stuff, so like I don't mind. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're running into Franco, if you're doing the trial, it's Poison the Medicine, but I suspect you were doing Traffic the Product, where you had to drop the drugs off. Or Get Out the Vote is the one with the guessing game. He's in that one as well. That one's like a brand new one. But I'm assuming probably it was Traffic the Product because it was downtown. But maybe I'm wrong. Get Out the Vote's... Oh no, hang on. Get Out the Vote's not the brand new one. Get Out the Vote's the one where you drag around the mannequin saying babies to shake, hands to kiss. Yeah, these are fine. Like, I definitely don't mind the Advent of Bogomolova event. It's just that if I do that, you know, I get bragging rights for 10 days that I got an A plus in something. Whereas here, right, I can start building I only need 3 A pluses, and then I get to knock down another one on my list. Not particularly looking forward to going back to the suburbs because Liquidate the Union, I did not do well the time before. But the real heartbreaker was definitely getting an A and Despoil the Auction. I don't believe I died in that one either. I think I just took a lot of... I can't remember if it was a sanity or if I just took a lot of damage. I think it was a sanity. And on top of that, with 2 more trials, which I will not do tonight, I have enough rebirth tokens. But Rebirth's going to be a little more interesting this time around because I now have newspaper 1 through 26. So this means I'm actually going to start doing the single player rebirths. So, and I've not, even though I've played since beta, I haven't actually done a single player rebirth yet. I had a hiatus, so they had added multiplayer rebirth by the time I came back. Anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out. I hope you didn't mind the extra Outlast. The plan is I should be back to the regular schedule, so this would mean I can do Mondays and Wednesdays. I'll probably do Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop, but of course I always reserve the right to do something, something different, something off the beaten track. Sorry, I should take a minute to set up the raid. That way you can see Lilia running around, or I guess tilting her head. But yeah, so I probably Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop, barring other details, and then on Friday I should be back to Cyberpunk 2077. Obviously, if it's a really, really late start like it was tonight, I'll switch it up and go back to something like Outlast, which I can do in bite-sized chunks. But as it happens, I did roughly a full-length stream anyway, so hopefully that was not a disappointment for everybody. We are going to be hosting Katako tonight. Katako I don't believe is an exclusive Resident Evil streamer, but definitely has been very focused on Resident Evil. Has actually found quite a bit of success, not just on Twitch, but particularly on YouTube. It went from a point where she was like a couple of hundred viewers to now exceeding my YouTube following, which is not saying much, but I'm really, really happy for her that she has found that success. I will say, very thirsty audience, but Katako has a great love of Resident Evil. Apparently it's the new one, Requiem, so I think it'll be a lot of fun, and she's a nice Australian streamer, so we'll probably be streaming later, and will be somebody who will keep you through the rest of the night. Thanks a lot for hanging out, Kirby, and the rest of you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.